What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here, Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr. Uh, look, Washington Mystics playing in Las Vegas Aces for like the second time in the last week and a half. The Aces take this one 89-77. Cardell, you were in the building. Just your thoughts on how things went down because we saw Washington, have a lead at one point, and then the Aces take care of business.
It was another winnable game that uh, they just they let get away. Started off on fire. Ariel Atkins had 16 in the first quarter, um, clicking on all cylinders, riding her high hand. But she knew obviously the chance was going to make a run. It was just a matter of the Missy could kind of weather the storm and just stay consistent, find other ways. You knew as the game went along, they were going to gang up on Ariel and just say basically somebody else beat us. And throughout the game, you saw players in spurts kind of come alive, but they couldn't sustain it. Like you might see Maisha Hines Island get going. You might see Dosa hit a couple shots. Jatori hit a couple shots in the second, but no one was able to kind of join the party consistently enough to help the Mystics pull this one out. And once you saw that, it was, Atkins kind of had to really get aggressive, and that's just tough to do against the Champs, man. One player, it's tough for one player to beat them because they have so many weapons. But regardless, in the fourth, they still had their opportunities, and really, honestly, it started at the end of the third where the bad decision making, the missed layups, the defensive lapses started to happen. And then it just carried over into the fourth, man. And that's what you saw. They shot 5 for 13 in the fourth, and it's 4 layups. Four layups. That's 8 points. And that changes things a lot. You know what I mean? Your game plan and who you have in the game, the whole nine. So, this is just, it was a tough loss because you wasted a hell of a performance from Atkins. And they got to find somebody else that want to join the party and be consistent enough to help out because it seemed when the Aces in the second half really locked in and a little bit more physical and on point defensively, some of the players were just scared to make a play. It seemed like it really was. And then when they try to force something, it usually turn out bad. Missed layup, a turnover, whatnot, and then the compounded the defensive lapses, man. Plum, all-star caliber player. But Tiffany Hayes, I can throw it out there. She's the X factor in this game. That's Tiffany Hayes from early in the career. You know what I'm saying? The dream and all that, man. 17 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds off the bench, 6 and 9. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's already held enough dealing with the starting lineup. You expect her to get some, make some plays, but not like that. That's starters minutes type production, man. So you getting that from your reserve, and she basically damn near outscore your entire reserve by herself. I mean, it's tough, man. And then you got Asia doing what she do. You see what I'm saying? Plum, just joining the first. Like, that's all they needed. And this is where it all came from. Gray, Young, Stokes doesn't score, but she do the dirty work and stuff like that. It's just frustrating. It's getting really frustrating. You at home, Atkins going off, you have the lead, and the stuff you don't do once again brings you in. They gotta figure out something, man. Because even just watching them kind of implode in the fourth, missing those layups, it's just tough. They point blank layups like the Aces gave you some, and you're just missing it. Then you put your head down, falling on the ground, pounding, and the Aces going the other way and one, or offensive putback Asia. And those are the little things where composure, the little things, offensive putback, little details of the game that separates the champions like the Aces and teams like the Mystics, looking like they're lottery bound in the current moment.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's just a comedy of errors after they had that big start. Cardell pointed out Ariel's game. I mean, she just came out on fire. But yeah, nobody else could help her. Tip Hayes and Kelsey Plum, they matched the rest of the Mystics' offensive output by themselves. And yeah, when you can't stop anybody, that's pretty much a ball game. And then the execution down the stretch, something that's played them all season, and it just showed up here. You can't do that against any team, but specifically against a team of this caliber, you did in the water. So yeah, that pretty much told the tale.
Yeah, like you guys said, man, it was just a really tough one for them. Obviously, I'm sure they wanted to go into break, if possible, on a higher note. I know they still got a game on Tuesday against the Fever, I believe, but this is the third matchup against the Aces, and not once can you say you weren't in any of the games. Like you guys said, just it's tough to digest that. Again, it's the reigning champs. And if you're gonna stay in the game that long, you might as well get things done. But the areas in which they struggle, it keeps killing them. Cardell, I know you already mentioned who you had your vote for X Factor, and Tip Hayes did this the last time they played in DC. So I think her season high 17 that she had today, she tied the last time they played the Mystics in DC. She continues to, as Cardell mentioned, she's had a history when she was in Connecticut and Atlanta, bothering Washington, and that's continued. But Cardell, let's start with you in terms of player of the game.
Hey man, it's tough to damn. Because Atkins went off, man. But damn, dog, that was career high, easy. Ah, man. I might have to give it to her just because she carried it. She carried it. Because without her 36, whew, I mean, come on now. I gotta go against the grain on this one, man, because her performance was that special. And what she did, she kept it competitive with chance, with no one else joining the party. You see what I'm saying? I expect Asia to do that. That's not, out the norm for her. She's the best player in the game. But the performance Atkins put on to pretty much go at the chance, hey, national TV, keep her team in the thick of things best she could, dropping damn near 40. That's just a hell of a performance, man. And they need every bit of it because without her doing that, it's easily 25 plus. Hell.
All right, Ray, we just asked Cardell about player of the game. He was coming to a tough decision, but hear what it was Ariel Atkins. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think I'll go to the tail end of it, man. Honestly, typically we don't want to reward a losing effort, but yeah, she carried 11 people on her back tonight, man, and it's something to be said about a performance like that against the reigning champs. While Asia going off, to match her stride for stride like that, and give them a chance to win. Yeah, man, this a Jerry West Finals MVP with a losing effort type deal, man. She went to work.
Yeah, so look, what I'm not gonna do is disagree. 5 of the 6 threes were before the half?
Yeah,
Like,
and it wasn't just like mid-range layups over Asia, over Plum, Jackie, get off me. Let me get the space, couple cross on it. Everybody got a little. Everybody got something. So it was just a hell of a performance, man. It goes to show you, man. It goes to show you, though. You gotta do the other things. Scoring ain't enough, bro.
it most definitely is not. Cardell had his vote for Tip Hayes, his X Factor. Ray, did you have somebody else you wanted to put in that spot, or?
No, I mean, like you pointed out earlier, you expect Asia to do what she do. Plum, all-star caliber player. That 17 off the bench is huge. It kind of gave them that separation they needed, and she was pivotal in the comeback. So yeah, you gotta give her a nod.
Yeah, again, agreeing with y'all. The dagger 3, the crashing offensive glass, what she's been doing since she's been on the Aces, is huge. I know sometimes she doesn't get the offensive rebound, but her activity led to some of their offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities. And again, this is the first time Jackie Young struggled against the Mystics this season. You take away Tip 17, it's a different game, man. Like
Right.
it's a totally different game if she doesn't come out. And the last time the 17 was needed because Asia had a down game against Washington and Kelsey. You know, when it was in DC. This time Asia and Kelsey go crazy. No Jackie. Well, you got 9 points from Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray. That is not normal. That 17 was everything. Oh, you only got 8 from Alicia Clark. Like that 17 was huge.
You right,
Like,
bro.
like she outscored 3 starters. She outproduced 3 starters and every member of the bench.
And I just think this about the misses. They shot 7 of 13 from the free throw line. They shot 57% from 3 and 42% from field. Like from the field, man. And only had 12 turnovers, which is pretty good for a team. That's what I'm saying. It's just, look, man. These are the L's, man. These are the L's. You look back and you just like, you just shake your head at them because this you had the chance to get a big win, a big time win, and hell of an effort from Atkins, man. But you see what I'm saying, man. Like she literally carried them because take her shooting away from what I just said. The percentage is bad. It's like 30s across the board.
They hit 12 threes. She accounted for 6 of them. You talked about what they shot from the floor, and that gives way to, just gives way to what you were saying earlier and talking how many miss bunnies they had in this game.
Shying away from the contact. Like it was one play, Asia was the only one back. And then Aisha went at her, and Van Loo, instead of like coming down like 2-on-1 to get the easy basket, she flared out to the 3-point line. And Aisha passed it to her, and I'm like, see, this analytics shit. Of course, she missed the 3. They go back down to 2-on-1, bro. And that's what you get. Asia is not about to run out there. I mean, dog, run, dog. Make her make a decision. Make it tough on her. She make the play, she make the play. But that's easy. Like, go ahead. The percentages are in our favor. I'm going to get the board. And it's going to be a long rebound, so we off to the races. And that's exactly what happened. Like, it's just, man, come on, man. One more game. Like, they're doing this to themselves, man. I don't care how motivated they are. It's too many games like this. It's too many games. And you don't have any room for error because of the injury.
Exactly. And again, going back to the level of frustration, it is one thing I know I've said this several times throughout the season. If you were lining up and you just didn't have a chance in hell every night, those are 2 totally different things. Being in each and every game, almost routinely building double-digit leads, and then failing to execute almost in the same manner far too often. It's been what it's been to this point, but it's hard to digest, and you're gonna look back later if they are able to come on the other side of the break healthy and whatnot and make a run. You're gonna be relying on, now you have to rely even more on the teams ahead of you when you could have had some wins in your pocket, like on your side, so it wouldn't be as it wouldn't be as frantic. And so that's almost added pressure now because of so many games that were dropped like this. We're going to see you guys on the other side of the break. I know they play on Tuesday. And obviously we'll talk to you guys during the Olympic break, as multiple folks will be in the Olympics, and we'll be, taking care of Outlook during that as well. But for myself, Cardell, and Ray, y'all have a great evening.